Hello everyone, it's your options guy. Welcome back to another video. Wow, so in today's video we're going to cover a lot of stuff with PLTR. PLTR has been doing a lot of moves lately and we have a lot to cover. So one of the things that I want to showcase is basically what's going on with the options in PLTR, because PLTR is getting a lot of steam or picking up steam back in the option game, and I want to cover or do it like a deep dive into what's going on, and basically it's looking very bullish. I also want to show you guys the dark pool orders of what's coming in, and basically try to interpret what this means to me and what I think might happen at least in the short term. And also we're going to move into basically doing some technical analysis just to look at like where it's going, where it's heading, basically like what it's been doing and what type of support and resistance points it's making and stuff like that. So a little bit of technical analysis. We're also going to cover some of the news that's going on. Basically someone's basically saying that they think it's going to be 44 price target within the next 9 to 12 months and stuff like that. And then also showcase what ARK's been doing with Palantir, because they've actually been doing a lot of moves lately again with Palantir. So we have a lot to cover, but before we get into it, I just want to emphasize I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes. I'm basically giving my thoughts and opinions and my own analysis of like what I think is going on and where it's heading and stuff like that. But also before we get into it, I just want to talk to you guys about if you're into crypto, or if you've been watching the whole crypto game, like whole Bitcoin, Ethereum and stuff like that, like surging, and you've just been sitting on the sidelines and you think if it's a good time to get in. I actually think it's still a good time to get in, especially with Bitcoin. I have high conviction with Bitcoin, especially with doing a lot of research lately. So if you're interested and you haven't opened up like a Coinbase account, I highly recommend you do that. I'll leave my invites in the description, so go ahead and check out Coinbase. I recommend Coinbase. I do not recommend Robinhood for any crypto trading. I actually made a video about it. So if you go ahead and check out my channel, I actually made it about 3 weeks ago. I said why you should stop using Robinhood for crypto trading. And yeah, so just check out my channel. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's try to break that 1,000 subscribers. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so Palantir has been making moves lately, especially with they recently came out with their earnings, and it was actually another good earnings, and it did not disappoint. And ever since then, it's been basically like on a rally again, except for today it's kind of like slowed down a little bit. But I basically wanted to cover what happened today in terms of the options flow, and basically where all the big money is going, and like what's happening within the option world. So as you can see here, basically it's overall bullish, at least for today. There's been more calls bought, more premium calls than put calls. I think there's only probably like 8 or so puts that were here. So as you can see, here's the puts here. But overall, it's been a bullish sentiment. And then as you can see here, there's some interesting things going on with the strikes here and the expiration. So here you can see that 27s and 25s are being hit, but they have a further out expiration. 617 got chosen a lot, so 617, and this is for next year, by that way, 2022. So they're basically calls that are a little bit out of the money, but that basically just entails that whoever's buying this, they foresee at least a move, at least within somewhat of a short to medium term, because of the expiration. Usually people don't hold onto their options at least till the expiration anyways. They usually close them out within a couple days, if not weeks at most. But anyways, basically this person or whoever they are, it could be different people, they're selecting 27 as a target, and 617. There's also some here at 121, as you can see, 121, 30, 25, and so on. The ones that came in basically towards the end of the day were these ones right here, 11, 19, 25, 23, and 24. Basically they're implying that they think that Palantir is gonna be well above these strikes, these prices right here, 24, 25, and 23, especially where it compared to where it's at right now and the trajectory it's like heading based on the earnings. It seems like it may well be above that. So overall, it was about $5.9 million in call orders, premium call orders. So by the way, when I say premium, these are all basically calls with at least 25,000 or more. So as you can see here, if I hover down if I filter down by like the lowest price, you can see it's 27, and then it just increases from there. And then if I filter down by the highest price, here's 800, 416, and so on. Usually the bigger orders have a further out expiration date. So also, as you can see here on the right hand side, this is the dark pool order. So this is basically what happens kind of behind the scenes, where we're not able to see what's happening, and these orders kind of go through like on separate exchanges and stuff to not impact the price so much. But as you can see here, the quantities is pretty huge. So this one, it was a 38.4 million order. So the only thing about dark pools is that you don't know if it's like selling or if it's buying, but you can kind of make like a good guess based on like what's happening with the options and what's happening with the price, kind of like what's happening with a dark pool order. You can kind of guess or make that assumption. But it's looking like Palantir is getting picked up, and not only with like this could be, you know, Cathie Wood herself, who knows, right? Or actually, I think 1.5 million. This actually is pretty close to somewhat of an order that came in today with ARK Invest. Anyway, so that's basically what happened with the call orders. Very bullish, and it seems like it's going to be pushing up a little bit higher. So let's take a look at some technical analysis real quick. So this is basically my technical analysis, and as you can see here, basically it's been pretty much consolidating for a couple months now, almost a whole year actually. So ever since the surge up here, it's been stuck within this 20 to maybe 27 range for a while. And as you can see here, all these little purple circles right here, they're all like strong support points that I plotted, except this one time that we dipped a little bit underneath, but then we came back up. But overall, the strong support has been really close to around 21, and the strong resistance has been around 27. So as you can see here, we're basically forming this kind of cup and handle type of pattern. It hasn't really been played out yet, but it's looking like it. So a cup and handle looks something like this, where basically it just looks like it bottoms out and then it starts curving back up, and then it's gonna dip a little bit down from here and then hopefully break these resistance levels. So if you look at the RSI, it's looking like it's a little bit overbought, so it may come back down a little bit, but then it may jump back from this 2240 price target around there and then start picking back up. So basically this is somewhat of a cup and handle, and it's actually looking a lot like what we're seeing right here, this little kind of pattern that's happening right there. So we'll see if it plays out, but basically the next resistance from here is obviously we have to break around above that 25, and the one after that, the really strong resistance is 27. So that's pretty much where we're at in terms of technical analysis. So now let's take a look at basically some current news. So here's an article about Seeking Alpha. So Seeking Alpha, I mean, there's been a lot of articles in the past that have all been negative against Palantir, and all of a sudden it seems like now the tides are shifting or something, because now it's all of a sudden like somewhat good news after good news. And as you can see here, basically whoever wrote this article is saying that we're at a buy on Palantir, price target at $44 within 9 to 12 months. So it says here the company had a trouble 2020. I don't know why it says it had a trouble 2020 when if you zoom out, it has like around, I don't know, like something 100, at least 100 or more percentage returns if you bought back here around $9. So it's definitely above 100% return. Anyways, but yeah, so it says 2020 Q1 marked a turning point with significant uptick in new orders. Q2 earnings now provide further solid ground for the stock. So we think the company will easily beat its fiscal year 12/21 revenue guide. So basically, I think the overall earnings our takeaway was that it seems like Palantir is doing what they've they've said they were going to do. It's looking good. The numbers are picking up. The orders are still high, and cash flows coming in and all that good stuff. So based on the earnings, I think it's hyping back Palantir, and it may even break 27, but it doesn't, remember, it not only does it have to break 27, it has to like break and hold above 27 at least for 1 or 2 days to really showcase that it's really broken out of this 27 resistance. It may even retest 27, bounce off of it a little bit, and then that would be a strong confirmation that 30 is next. So that's basically what's going on with Palantir. And then just today, ARK actually picked up another 1.1 million shares or so. And it's interesting because they've actually picked up a lot of shares, not just for their ARK innovation ETF, but also for a lot of their other ETFs. I think if not all of them. So they picked up a lot of shares. But anyways, on the ARK innovation ETF, which is like their primary one, they've actually picked up a lot more shares, and now Palantir is right here on number 15. So it's interesting that they're basically adding to their conviction that Palantir is going to do well, and it's great that it's in the top 20. But yeah, so overall, good news with Palantir. I think if you're a Palantir fan, and if you like, or if you like financials, not just like based on like the technology, but if you actually like financials of like where their financials are heading and all that stuff, and then the market cap and all that stuff, I think you should really look into Coinbase. I think Coinbase, which is actually number 4 on ARK Invest, Coinbase made basically like what Palantir makes in like a whole year. Coinbase made like last quarter in like profit, by the way. So and they're both like almost have like the same market cap, like almost very similar. So if you're into Palantir, I really think you should take a good look at Coinbase, because Coinbase is a money printing machine right now. And like, basically I've been investing into Coinbase. I have 100 shares, and I've just been chilling with 100 shares for a while. I'm not really doing much with it. But yeah, so I mean, I've even taken out all my money and stuff from Robinhood, and basically moved it to Coinbase to actually buy crypto there versus Robinhood. But all in all, yeah, I think Coinbase is going to be solid play. And Palantir, of course, is looking really solid right now, especially with the more earnings that they come out, the more solid the company looks. And especially with all of these call orders coming in, and then the technical analysis of like where it's heading, I think it's looking good. It may actually finally break out of this 20 to 25 or 7 range. It might finally break out of this huge consolidation period. And once it does break out, I think the next resistance from 27 will be around 30. And then from there, possibly 35 or 40. So that's where it's heading. But you never know. Like Palantir does have like, I mean, it does do like a whole 180 sometimes, so you never know what might happen. But anyways, if you like this video, if you liked this analysis, and if you're interested in more videos with these types of analysis, especially like analysis with the calls, that I'm doing a lot of analysis with what's going on with the calls, what's bullish, what's bearish, and stuff like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.